Hi everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys today? I am bringing you another project with Encircled and Warmth. I hope that you have watched my other videos with things from this project. It's an awesome word stamp set. I love it because it coordinates with a annual catalog set. So there are dies with the annual catalog set that we can use with this set as well, and I've paired them today. As you can see on this card, they're quite intricate and beautiful. Layering circles also work really well with this set. It lends itself to circles, and I love using layering circles, so this was definitely a set on my radar. It's $19, and it's on page 23 of the July to December mini catalog. Let me find you the cover. I have it, there we go. That's what it looks like. So it's a great mini if you need a copy. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would be happy to get you a copy of a catalog. I usually send them to people who place an order with me. When they place their first order, they get a copy of the catalogs mailed directly to them. So I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how to make this really cool card. Like I said, we're going to be using this stamp set Encircled in Warmth, the layering circle dies, and the Encircled in Beauty dies, which are really pretty. So we will be using this large one right here. Let me grab all my products that we're going to be using. We're using two greens. We're going to be using Mint Macron. This is it right here. This one's going to get cut out of that. And then we are also going to be cutting the white one out of this very intricate die. Very pretty. So that one will be cut also. And then when that one's done cutting, I will cut a circle out of the center of it. I've already cut this soft seafoam circle out of the layering circle dies, just so that you wouldn't be here all day watching me die cut everything. But I do love these dies very much. I think they are a great addition. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do the die cutting first and kind of get that out of the way. I will move all the other products out of the way so that we can die cut, and then once we're done with that, we can get started on our card. So we're going to use plate number 1, plate number 2, plate number 3, which is my cutting plate. You can see it's well loved. I do a lot of die cutting. So on this one, we are going to stick this really beautiful die. We are also going to do this one, which will get a second pass through when I'm done here. But let's get it going on our piece like so. We're going to put our other number 3 over the top and go ahead and run that through the machine. Don't get scared when you hear those poppy noises, just means it's doing its job. So this does have tiny little dots. As you can see, some of them popped out easily. I just kind of slam it down on, well, not really slam it, but I just kind of drop it down on there. And when you do that, most of the insides will pop out. You can see this one left quite a bit on there for me. Now this center section is going to be cut out. I'm gonna cut that out with my layering circle dies. I'm gonna use one of the smaller ones. Let's see, how about this one? That's too big. I think it was this one here. All right, so we are gonna run that through just one more time back in the other direction. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these parts and pieces off of this one and throw them in my trash can. You can see all the little bits and pieces that pop out. If they do not pop out, I just use my take your pick tool and I just press them through, and then they usually just fall to the other side or to the back. I like to do it while it's still on the plate, because then all of the pieces are in one place, and then I usually just take the plate over to the trash can and take care of all of those little small itty bitty parts. So I'm just pressing out these teeny tiny circles. Just a few of them stayed in. All right. I'm going to move that over, and I'm going to wipe all of these off and into my trash can. And then we will run that through one more time. I want to make sure that I have it in the right spot. As best I can. And let's go ahead and put it through one more time here. That took the center out, and we are going to stamp on that. Let's go ahead and remove these pieces. I'm going to move the dies and the die cut machine out of the way so that you guys can actually see my surface. I have my camera kind of close, so that's why that machine looks humongous in camera, because I do like to keep you guys close so that you can see as much of the details of what I'm doing as I can. So I'm going to put these guys back on their dies and put those away. All right, here's our card. Here's our stamps. Here's our ink pad. Here's our lovely green piece. And I'm going to go ahead and poke these parts out. I probably should have run it through twice, but it's not too bad. These pieces are rather large. They're not too small, so they fall through fairly simple. And we're gonna cut part of these dies off the edge. You can see on my card there how they're off to the right-hand side, and part of them are cut. So I am just gonna finish pushing these pieces through. There's also an attachment for the Take Your Pick tool that is a brush attachment, and it comes with a piece of foam. And that attachment is super awesome for parts and pieces that are intricate like this, because it does, you roll it over the top of your die and then they just kind of pop out. But I don't mind doing it the good old-fashioned way. I do have that. I just didn't pull it out for this particular project. I'm going to go ahead and pick up all these little pieces and put them in the trash can. And then we can get started on our stamping. So we have a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 of soft seafoam. I really love this color of cardstock. It's bright and cheery, but at the same time it's a pale green. I think it is such a beautiful color to use at Christmas. Now, this designer series paper is from Whimsy and Wonder. It is also in the mini catalog. This is the back side. I am going to run my seal adhesive across the back and go ahead and attach it onto my folded piece of seafoam. So there is that background. Now we're going to be layering these pieces on. So we will start here. And you just try and center it as best you can. Now this one is going to require a little bit more intricacy. And this piece here we're going to stamp with Joyful Season. So let me ink that up. I'm going to grab my silicone mat because that is what I'm going to be using when I put the glue on it for this piece. So we'll use it as my backing in case I miss my circle and don't get it close enough, but hopefully I will do okay. Yeah, not bad. So there is that. That's going to go in the center. And then the inside of the card is getting warm Christmas wishes and some pieces from our DSP, the same one, Wonder and Whimsy. I'm inking up this warm Christmas wishes onto my same mint macaron, and I am going ahead and put it down here and bring it up so you guys can see what I'm doing. And this will go right in the center, like so. I will go ahead and clean my stamps at the same time. I like to do all my stamping at one time. Get all of that out of the way. This is my Simply Chamois. I keep it in an old stamp case just to help keep it moist. These will be the pieces that we will use for our inside. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna fussy cut these out. I'm just gonna go around and leave a little white border. I'm actually gonna need this piece here. They are gonna be the iridescent colored berries on my other holly leaves. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those out first because they are so small. I don't want them to get lost. If I put them down, I may sweep them away with the remains of the other. I'm gonna put it right here on this circle so I don't lose them. Now we can finish cutting out this holly leaf here. Go around it. This is a really beautiful paper. I'm really in love with the Wonder and Whimsy. It has really beautiful non-traditional colors for Christmas, but I think they are perfect, and I'm really happy with this paper. There's a whole suite of products, but the paper in is really pretty, and the suite is really pretty. So let's go ahead and cut our other holly leaves. And that way I'll have everything ready to take glue at the same time, which is, I tend to work in batches. I did all my stamping first, now I'm doing all my cutting and making sure that I have everything ready to do all my gluing. And this last little piece right here, we're going to use those berries to go with it. So we'll put that with there so that they can grab the berries. And I will discard these little scraps. All right. So let's go ahead and put some glue down. I will put my wet glue on the back. I do like to use tweezers when I use the wet glue so I don't get my hands full of the glue. And I clean that periodically. I'm going to go ahead and put this in this corner here. And then we have the other one. And these teeny tiny berries. here. They are kind of small, but tweezers to the rescue. There we go. We'll put the berries down here and leave a space so that we can tuck the holly leaves underneath them. Just like that. There we go. So there's the inside of our card. Looks pretty good. Now let's work on the outside. So we've already attached these two pieces together. That is going to live right here. Let's put some adhesive on the back of this really intricate piece. And I'm just using dots of adhesive. I'm going to first work my way around the outside with dots, and then I will draw inward and onto these pieces that have a little bit more room for adhesive. And the other reason is that's why I use the silicone mat, because if I get glue off of this piece of cardstock, the beautiful thing is that the silicone mat will grab it and it doesn't stick to the mat, so it works out rather well. So this is why I use my tweezers, because I don't want all of this adhesive on my surface. So let's go ahead and attach this down. It's just going to be barely hanging off here of the piece of a soft sea foam. The other reason I like using the wet glue is it does have some wiggle room, so you can push it down. Okay, and our other piece is going to be raised up, so we're going to use a couple dimensionals on the back. So I'm just going to use 2 of those. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and lift that up and attach that right there in the center of my piece. Cut that out there and back it goes, but lift it up. Now this piece is going to get attached onto my piece and it's going to be overhung, so I'm going to make sure that I put adhesive on it, but I leave some room so that that part doesn't need the adhesive on it. So that's the part that's going to hang. I'm going to keep that on the edge, and I am going to, sorry, I covered up my sample, so I'll put that like that, press that into place. And then I'm just going to flip my card over. I'm going to use my scissors and I'm just going to trim all of these layers off that were attached together first. Those 3, right? So there's that part. Let's get rid of these little dimensionals, backings. And the final step is going to be to put my ribbon on, if I can find it. I don't know what I've done with it. I seem to have lost it. Oh, here it is, off to the side. I pushed it so far off to the side, I will use a scissor with it. I don't need my adhesive anymore. Okay, so let's go ahead. I like to turn it upside down because to me, it's just easier to tie a bow upside down. So we're gonna go ahead and place this piece inside. And I'm gonna reverse it now, put that there, and I'm gonna pull it taut. I want this to be in the center. I can always move it, but I'm gonna try and set it into place before I do my tying. So if I need to adjust that ribbon, I can slide it up. And now I'm gonna hold my finger, my middle finger is gonna go there so that I can use my other fingers to push through. You don't really use your middle finger when you're tying, right? So, but that will hold that knot in place. And I'm gonna pull down as I tie. That will make the bow pieces go downward. And then I'm going to grab my ribbon cutting scissors so that I get a nice edge. And I will trim those two pieces off like so. I love that iridescent ribbon. That sparkle that it has is so pretty. And there's some iridescence in the paper as well, so it ties in rather nicely. So that is my project. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I really appreciate you watching. I'm kind of new to YouTube, so if you don't mind helping me out, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ask your friends to subscribe too, and when you subscribe, you're going to get notifications of when I post new videos. Check out my website, my blog. I do blog every single day, and I've been blogging for over a year now, so there's lots of content on there, lots of project ideas for you. The link for that will be in the description below. When you go there, you can access PDFs and measurements and more fun projects. I really appreciate all the likes and comments, sharing and subscribing that you do. It really helps me get my content out there, and it helps me bring you more videos. So thank you again for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this project, and happy stamping. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts.